Hello, this is Julie from One More Page. This is another August read. I read Reconstructing Amelia by Kimberly McCreight. And actually, I discovered this book from my book club. It was one of the books we read at my book club. And so a quick shout out to them, the vivacious readers in St. Catharines. Really enjoy going to those meetings. So let's get right into it. Here's what I liked and what I didn't like. So let's start with what I liked. First of all, the concept of this book was really fascinating, and it's the type of concept I often like in some of my favorite TV shows, and that's you have a character who is not in the book anymore. She or he has passed away or has been murdered, or some reason they are hidden from the storyline, and as the title suggests in this book, they are reconstructing the story to figure out what happened to Amelia exactly. So it's actually her mother, who is a high-powered lawyer in New York City, Kate. And she is essentially trying to figure out through text messages, emails, social media, figure out what happened, what led to her death or her murder or whatever it might be. And so I think it's a great concept, and I always enjoyed it. And I like the idea that a character is not in the story anymore, but we're learning about them as we get to figure out the big puzzle and the big mystery that opens the story. So let's talk now about what then I didn't like. And so the concept, as I suggested, is this neat idea of reconstructing Amelia. The problem for me then is that Amelia then has a large chunk of the narrative. So we know that she's dead at the beginning of the book, either through suicide or murder. We don't know exactly what happened. And so we know that her mother, Kate, must reconstruct the murder. But then we go back in time and have constant chapters that are narrated by Amelia, where the story is slowly revealed through her. And I think I like it much better when that is left out altogether, when we are literally learning about this character through all the interviews, social media, texts, and the things that are supposed to be reconstructing what happened. And I think it's neat when that happens. And so I was a little disappointed. I was expecting to work a little more, to work along with Kate to try to reconstruct what happened to Amelia. But because Amelia was telling me as the story unfolded what happened to her, I just felt it was a little too easy, to follow, a little too basic. I think it could have lent itself to so much more mystery and excitement if we weren't hearing about what happened to Amelia from Amelia. Plus, that meant that the kind of social media aspect of it, where they're reconstructing from her correspondence online, is less than I expected. You don't see as much as that as you would expect in a book that claims that it's using this kind of form of storytelling to go through her personal emails and texts to see what could have happened, and you piece together through the fragments of her life. It's not fragmented. You get her life from her perspective. The final thing I'll say about Reconstructing Amelia, too, is that I did feel that it was set in New York City, and the main character, Kate, one of the main characters, a high-powered lawyer, single mother, daughter is in a private school, Amelia. It just felt a little bit cliche. I just feel, and not that stories can't take place in New York City, of course, love New York City, and that there can't be a high-powered lawyer, and the kid can't go to private school. It's just that I feel that I'm in a phase where in my reading life I like to kind of branch out a little bit, see places I haven't read about before or haven't seen over and over again in TV shows and movies or books. And so, like I said, not that there's anything against New York or against the type of characters we have in this book. It's just I'm starting to appreciate branching out from those areas and seeing the broader world. Thanks again for listening. This is Julia on One More Page. Cheers.